Good morning, everybody. Today is Saturday, July the 13th. 3 more days, and the big day is here. Well, I'm not going to complain about the liquid diet today. Well, I hadn't been up very long, so I can't complain too much. Yesterday wasn't so bad on it. I don't know if my body just accepted starvation mode or what. But I went and spent some time with my sisters, my niece, and my great niece. It's the sweetest baby ever. Rotten. But anyway, I had a good time with them. I was watching some videos this morning and stuff, and kind of got me to thinking, how do, thinking about food. Last couple of days, I guess I kind of been obsessing over the fact that I couldn't eat. And that's what I've been thinking about the biggest portion of the time, that I couldn't eat. And it's really been rough, I guess. But the thing about through all this, I didn't get the mental hunger. Most of the time, I suffer from the mental hunger and not as much physical. But I'm like, wow. But for me, always the mentality of being on a diet was my worst enemy. Getting on the scales a lot was my worst enemy. But the odd thing about it, because I was listening to some videos, and most people talk about if the scales go up, that just puts them in a tailspin of wanting just to blow it and just go on a binge. Upset, the fact that they had gained weight, and it makes them want to just give it all up and go on a binge for a couple of days. Well, for me, I was the opposite. If I'd get on the scales and see I'd lost like 5 pounds, I'm like, wow. I'd always go and eat more what I had been eating. I'm like, that's something strange to do. Because usually I'd wind up, putting a few pounds back on. And I've thought a lot about it and thinking over the years what caused me or got me to that place where I wanted to start eating like that. I can remember the first time that I overate. And I want to say I was like 5 years old, maybe 6. And I remember exactly where it was. We lived in Cleveland, Ohio. I was sitting at the end of the table, always where my daddy sat. And I ate 2 sandwiches. I was so proud of myself. I was a big girl because I could eat 2 sandwiches. And from then on, I don't know if I ever got to where I even paid attention to the full filling. And it's weird because my mother, bless her heart, she was a wonderful person and stuff, but I really don't think that she knew enough about caring for children, like, having the 3 square meals a day. I remember a lot of times, my mom and dad would take us, to like, their cousins' houses and stuff, and we just dang near starved to death. I don't know if they didn't realize, kids need to eat. I remember we was cutting open mustard packages and putting it on plates and stuff and eating that because we were hungry. Now my sister, her being skinny as a pencil, I don't think that child ever got hungry, but all she ever ate was candy, and she's still that way. She don't eat vegetables and stuff. She'll eat meat and candy, which is weird if you ask me, but I'm a big vegetable person myself. But thinking back on it, I'm thinking, where did I go wrong? And I don't know. I've always thinking about, my mother used to tell me, Gloria, if you don't do this or don't do that, you're going to gain weight. Like, used to be after we ate a big supper, it was always beans and potatoes, fried potatoes and beans and cornbread. Occasionally, we'd have garden stuff to go with it. And I can remember, I'd eat a big supper or whatever, just feeling lazy instead of, going outside and playing or whatever. A lot of times I'd lay down and take a nap. She'd always tell me, said, that's the wrong thing to do, which I didn't listen. And when I was 10 or 11, I weighed 175 pounds. That's big for a kid. But she tried to put me on a diet and maybe gain 10 pounds instead of losing. But once I got to be a young adult, I kind of maintained, get around 200, 215, 220. And I stayed there until I went through, a lot of crap in my life started gaining. And it just kind of went all uphill from then. But I don't know, it seemed like, where do we get to the point? It don't seem fair, you have a lot of thin people that can eat everything they want and never gain an ounce. Or maybe it just appears that way. Because, if you think about it, most people think that because somebody's heavy, that they eat all the time. That's not always the case, because, a lot of times health conditions and stuff, I've had, taken spells and stuff where I didn't eat all the time. And with me being on insulin and having thyroid conditions and polycystic ovaries, no matter how hard I tried or no matter what I did, I'd gain weight or either maintain the fat I still had on me. And it was very frustrating because it's all a misconception. So, I don't know, it's just a messed up world. You think because somebody's super skinny that they never eat. And, a lot of the really thin people eat all the time, like my stepson. Used to be, that boy could eat all day long and never gain an ounce. Which now, since he's married and kind of eating a more normal diet, he's packing on a few pounds. But, I don't know. It's just, everything just seems so unbalanced. But I truly think it's a lot of the chemicals that they're putting in food today. I really do. And then, they're wanting everybody to go organic. But still yet they jack up the prices on the organic foods. And I'm like, who can afford all this stuff? The economy is just so tough. People's having to get what they can and try to do the best they can. But, it is what it is. So what do you do? But, yeah, I've been doing a lot of thinking, like last night after me and Boo Boo went to bed. Husband was at work, and I just lay there for a long time just thinking about everything. And, thinking about the surgery, and I thought about it, and I thought, it's almost here. And, I have to admit, a lot of times I thought, do I really want to do this? But I know if I don't, I'm going to go right back to where I was. Because if I could have been thin and healthy, I would have been. But I have to have some sort of intervention here. I have to have that tool to help me to keep going. Yeah, I've lost down to 326, but that's, with a lot of work. And, got me on some pills that's not necessarily for weight loss, they're for seizures and stuff. And since I started taking those pills is when the weight started dropping the biggest. I mean, it's like, whoa, just unreal. I mean, when I got on those scales and saw my weight, I was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. But I don't know. Well, sorry for just rambling, y'all, but that's just my outlook this morning. My sister's gonna do some stuff for my niece today, and I told her, I said, we'll do what we gotta do and stuff. I'm gonna be there. I said, but when y'all go to eat, I gotta leave. I meant being around food and stuff. It's so hard right now. And she's like, well, just because you can't eat don't mean we can. I'm like, that ain't what I said. I said, I gotta leave. I said, it's really hard just, smelling the food stuff. It makes me want to eat, and, I can't. And this is my niece. This is what a sweet child she is. She's like, Aunt Glow said, I won't eat. And this is a surprise thing for her. She said, I won't eat. She said, I'll do whatever you're doing. So I'll go out and have a liquid shake with you or whatever. And actually, I wouldn't dare ask you to do that. It's just, this is going to be some family time, some family fun, whatever. I wouldn't dare. I said, it's a sweet offer, but I wouldn't dare. Shows you what a sweet child she is. She was always my baby growing up. Now she's got a baby for me to pet and spoil. Okay, y'all. Well, y'all have a great weekend, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. You know I will. So, y'all take care. Love you. Bye.